Okay, let's just get right into it. In the middle of this whole AI revolution, are you feeling more excitement or more panic? Is this the moment you finally get left behind, or is it maybe the biggest opportunity of your entire life? To figure that out, we're going to dig into the mindset of serial entrepreneur Gary Vaynerchuk.
I mean, this is the question, right? It's the one that's probably keeping a lot of us up at night. The fear is so real. If the biggest tech companies are the only ones winning, is there even any room left for the rest of us to make our mark?
But here's the thing, Gary Vee has a completely different take on this. He doesn't see a closed door at all. He sees an explosion of brand new, smaller opportunities. And this idea he has of hyper-micro wealth, well, that's the key to his entire argument.
So what does this new economic landscape actually look like? Gary calls it a barbell economy. And when you see it, it makes perfect sense. You've got two super powerful ends and a whole lot of pressure building up right in the middle. Here's how it breaks down. On one side of the barbell, you've got the titans. Think Google, Microsoft, the giants. They're playing a winner-takes-most game. But on the other side, there's what's called the long tail. And that's you. That's where individuals can create that hyper-micro wealth by serving really specific audiences. And here is the most crucial point. If you're stuck in the middle, running a traditional business, following a standard career path, you are at risk. That space between the giants and the super niche creators is shrinking fast, and that's the danger zone. But look, getting squeezed isn't inevitable. It's not all doom and gloom. In fact, Gary argues this new reality actually gives us a unique, kind of unfair advantage, if we know how to use it. So how do you win? Simple, by being relentlessly, unapologetically human. You can't out-compute an AI, right? But an AI can't really get the nuances of pop culture, or build a true community with organic content, or host a real-life event that creates a powerful human connection. That's your territory.
And this quote just hammers home that barbell idea. As technology gets more and more extreme, the value of real, tangible, analog experiences is going to explode. We're talking pop-up shops, live events, genuine human interaction. That stuff becomes priceless.
Okay, so strategy is one thing. But Gary argues the most important shift isn't about what you do, it's about how you think. And it all comes down to a choice you have to make between two very different mindsets. First up, there's the Mason. The Mason is a doer, someone who executes tasks. Think about it. If your job is mostly about taking notes, following a checklist, or just doing what you're told, well, that work is in the direct line of fire for automation. And then there's the architect. The architect doesn't just do the tasks, they design the systems. They use AI not as a competitor they have to beat, but as a powerful tool to amplify their own thinking and their own creativity. This is the goal. This is where you want to be.
So how do you make that leap? Well, it all starts in your head. You have to believe you can do it. Then, you gotta trade some of that Netflix time for building time. Start playing with the AI tools to help you think, not just to execute. And maybe the hardest part, get comfortable with losing. You have to start seeing every failure not as an ending, but just as data for your next move.
An architect gets this. They understand that even if their big project gets automated overnight or just flat out fails, the knowledge and experience they picked up becomes the foundation for whatever they build next. Nothing is ever wasted. It all counts.
And this is a big one. To really adopt this mindset, you have to stop tying your self-worth to your results. The validation has to come from inside. You need exactly zero permission from anyone else to start learning, experimenting, and building your thing. With all this change and anxiety flying around, it's so easy to get cynical. But Gary makes a really strong case for why being pessimistic is probably the least practical approach you can take right now.
I mean, let's be real. Mass hysteria over new technology is nothing new. People were terrified of electricity. They were terrified of the internet. And now, surprise, surprise, we're terrified of AI. History shows this is a pattern. It's a predictable stage of innovation.
So the bottom line is this. Being optimistic isn't about blind faith. It's a practical, strategic choice based on decades of history. Every single major technological shift in the past has ultimately created way more opportunities than it destroyed. And Gary just sums up his whole idea of practical optimism with this perfect, high-stakes logic. Think about it. If he's right and you bet on optimism, you stand to win big. And if he's wrong, and AI truly leads to some doomsday scenario, well, your career anxiety isn't going to matter much anyway, is it? So at the end of the day, it really comes down to this choice.
The world is changing, yes, but it's not ending. You can be a mason, the person who executes the tasks and worries about being replaced, or you can be an architect, the person who designs the future and uses these new tools to build it. The choice is yours. Which one will you be?